Hello, ladies and gentlemen, you in Twitchland. I am Sanji Himura. Welcome to the W2 Report live and in living color. Tonight, we're going to have some fun doing some things with you, talking about Day of Dragons. Yes, the Day of Dragons has been a naughty little scamp, and we're going to find out exactly why. I am joined today by an international cast of characters, including Mr. NoBlackThunder. Say hello.
Hello.
From the UK, we have Mellow Online 1.
Happy Brexit, everyone.
And from somewhere near Steam headquarters, we have Lord Crocosquirrel.
Yo, folks, how goes it?
Okay, today we are going to set a little ground rules, and we're going to have some fun doing some things with you. So, with that said, let's establish the ground rules first. Oh, also, warning! This stream is for mature audiences, and the stream may contain content that may offend some viewers. If you are that person, I recommend that you watch Disney Plus instead. So, with that said, let's go over this document right here. Welcome to the Day of Dragons timeline, and basically, how did we get from a Kickstarter that asked for a modest $12,000 that blew up into a DMCA smorgasbord and potential lawsuits? So, with that said, let's turn it over to Mellow Online for the ground rules.
Can I just say, Sanjay, I really like the amount of tabs that you have there and the amount of extensions that you've got on your browser. I'm very impressed.
So, with that said, yeah, go ahead with the ground rules.
Basically, we only have a few sets of ground rules. We are aware that, well, to put it bluntly, we don't want to get into overly personal information with regards to these guys. We know that these guys have had somewhat of a rough time. I'm not going to say that they haven't deserved it or anything like that, but they have done some bad stuff, but they haven't deserved half of the stuff that I have seen thrown at them. I've been seeing stuff like people have been doxing their addresses, they've been releasing personal information like real names and all that. None of that's cool. No one should really do that at all. But we're going to be mainly just looking at this document in a critical eye. So we're not wanting anyone to go out and harass or go out and stalk these guys or anything, try and dig up information on them. None of that's cool at all. So we're here. We want to spread awareness of this through criticism and debate. It's all going to be healthy. We want to be productive here. So let's just keep to that environment. Okay, cool.
All right, thanks. And also, we do have an elephant in the room in the form of Mr. Andre. Mr. Andre is just a troll, nothing to be concerned about, and we're going to leave it at that. So, with that said, and looks like we have some chatters already. We got Submitta's Jow in the chat. Speaking of which...
I mean, if Jow wants to watch it, then he's more than welcome to.
Yeah, so with that said, let's get started. All times are recorded in New Zealand time. Just so that way we do not get our dates mixed up. We're going to keep it that way. So with that said, the Day of Dragons Kickstarter started on September 2nd, 2019 with a very modest goal of $12,000 to fund the creation of the first dragon models for the game. At this stage, it was only Zhao that was running the show, with no company behind him. Then 2 days later, the company behind Harry Potter, organized an event called Day of Dragons. Anyone searching for the Harry Potter event would come up on the Kickstarter in a Google search.
So it's effectively just search boosting, effectively. Because that event was going on, people were searching for it, and then, hey, just so happens that this Kickstarter campaign shares the same name.
I got a silly question.
Yes.
Did he? Am I being a little cynical here? Did he name that game Day of Dragons just for no reason whatsoever, other than the Day of Dragons for Harry Potter was coming up?
I don't know.
It really depends on if Day of Dragon is something that happens every year, or if they announce it even earlier than that.
Hey, NBT, I can barely hear you. Kick up the gain.
You can barely hear me. Okay, I'm very sorry. Let me check. Hey, much better now. Let's see.
A little more.
There's not much to crank up there. Let's see.
Like, in my take, I don't necessarily think that Zhao would be that smart to do something like that. It could, like, I mean, you could definitely be right, because I don't think it's beyond the realms of unbelievability that he would do something.
To be honest with you,
to me, that just seems like a lot of blind luck on Zhao's part.
I'm not sure that's necessarily blind luck. He has proven to be fairly cunning in the past.
Has he?
Until he went completely stupid, of course. But they made the difference between a $12,000 Kickstarter and $500,000. I think that would be. I think that might actually be a thing.
Test. Is this a lot better?
Not really. No.
Okay. I gotta do it even more then.
A little more, a bit more. It's the amount.
Is this better?
Much
better. I can go up even more, but then I'm afraid it will react pretty to every single noise.
And
but
I would
can get close and more intimate.
All right, let me interrupt here. Let me interrupt here and basically say that we are welcoming our guests from the Uncensored Day of Dragons Discord. Big Admiral salute to you, and we're gonna welcome and stay for the content. Come for the popcorn, stay for the salt. So,
one thing that I will just quickly address, because a couple of people from that Discord server have just been messaging me, because some of them that don't know, I am working on an article with some interviews with Zhao. The views that I express in this stream isn't going to affect the turnout of what that article is going to be. Like, that article is going to be very much unbiased and fair as possible. On this one, I am actually going to express my opinions on everything. And it might not seem as unbiased as what it might seem in the article. I'm going to express some opinions that some people might not be too happy with.
Yep. So, and that goes with Zhao instead. So with that said, let's continue on. So his first video on Day of Dragons was released on September the 13th. And after a few weeks after that, people began noticing flaws in the game's development. Some things were not adding up, and a document called Suspicious Findings was created. Soon after, the website Day of Scams was created to address the suspicious findings, and a Q&A happened that was transcribed loosely.
Can I just say, they were one of the two main sources that got me into the whole story. They are extensive, and it's unbelievable how much information was collected on those. Like, the Suspicious Finds document alone, just to refresh myself, I'm opening up now, that was so long. It had so much detail in it as well.
Right.
Like, it's unbelievable how much information collation people can do if they put their mind to it. Well, yeah, it's 20 pages long.
You shouldn't be surprised about that. This is a world in which 4chan is a thing. But correct me if I'm wrong. They managed, and I gave this a glance over quick. I'm the newcomer to the story, so bear with me here for a minute. Didn't they actually manage to identify every asset that was in the release in question?
Just about, yeah.
I mean, he was $12,000 for commissioning dragons, and then you wind up with
$500,000
Unreal Store assets.
Yeah, why?
$500,000 for $500,000 just to go buy, you know, $200 or $300 worth of assets there, as I can figure.
Ineffective method of spending, if you ask me.
A little too effective. Hell, most indie games don't take most indie games don't require even 100K.
No, most indie games use Kickstarter and so on to see if there's a market even for the game, which they try to sell or not. So this is why also the cost normally, like the asking price, is pretty low compared to what the actual development cost is. Because a small team of, let's say, 5 developers can easily eat to $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Dude.
Depends on, and well, the other claim was that the other claim in the Kickstarter, which I did read, was that it had been that they'd been a couple of years already working on it, and I couldn't see it.
That I'm gonna address that real quick because that was something that came up in the interview that I had with Joe that got leaked. So I know that Sanji was sort of iffy about bringing this up, but it is quite relevant to what we're talking about here. So Joe had specified to me that when he kept on saying to his Kickstarters that this game had been for 3 years of development, what he means by that is for 2 years, for the first 2 years of that 3-year development, he was working in, what's that Amazon game engine, Lumberyard or something like that?
Lumberyard.
Yeah, he'd been working in Lumberyard, and he hated it, didn't like it, he couldn't figure out how it would work, so he then moved to the Unreal Engine, and the game had been effectively started from scratch. So the game hasn't been in development for 3 years, 1 year tops, if that.
Well, here's the other side of that, is that Lumberyard takes the same types of models that Unreal does. So if he'd actually been working on it, he couldn't possibly have had anything testable if he was going back and buying Unreal Engine assets.
Mm. And plus, it isn't exactly something like motivating for Kickstarter backers to see if their money is just being put non-stop into pre-bought models and pre-made environments.
Him also claiming that he couldn't figure out how the Lumberyard / CryEngine was working, and then claiming he can actually code in C++, which is very sketchy because Lumberyard uses only C++, while the newest CryEngine also has support for C#. So I'm questioning a little bit, but we coming back to this later anyway. To his programming skills, what he claims from what I have seen.
Yeah.
The part where there was absolutely no there was damn near no custom code in the freaking game.
Well, it's
there was one piece.
I'm very skeptical to that part too, because from what I have seen, it's a little bit odd laid out from just the server code. So yeah, I'm not trusting that with the I wouldn't take it as a fact that there are only 2 lines of code.
But I mean, like, we have to give them some credit for their code, because I mean, like, they were able to hard code ban some people into the game, so they've got at least that much experience.
And we're gonna address that later.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes, we are. Actually, let's introduce some more cast of characters. We have IGP, who first delved around the controversy on October the 14th, 2019. During the video, there was a dragon game being played, but it was Icy Caress's Dawn of Dragons, which uses the same marketplace assets as Day of Dragons.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's shown that a YouTuber can reproduce your game in a matter of weeks of hearing about it when you say you've been working on it for 3 years.
Uh-huh. And actually improve upon it.
I mean, I was like out of my, what the hell is IGP doing? Because that's not normally his style of videos either. He normally does gameplay videos and not videos that sound like really concerning videos.
Oh, did you follow him before Day of Dragons?
No, I came over I have seen him several times, his videos. I mean, I didn't follow him actively, so I knew who he was, but I also double checked after seeing Day of Dragons, like, this guy has never done any drama videos. That's odd. And now he does this, the concern video. I mean, for me, it sounded like he was really concerned about the game and putting forward stuff that needs to be talked about.
Yes, and IGP's video caused such an uproar that J.O. Satan, the reason why IGP made the video was because he didn't accept the Steam key and just ignored it.
Wait, what?
Let's see here. There we go. Here is the link in question.
I'm on the wrong document.
It's all right.
Here we go. Let's see.
That's an interesting allegation to make.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. In case anyone is wondering, J.O. told people from the beginning that this is an alpha. No, it's not. We'll get into that later. He's been the only developer working on it for 2 years. Lots of trial, error, and learning in those 2 years. I told people what the Kickstarter was for, to replace the 3 marketplace dragons that we use in the game. Did anybody get a count on how many dragons there actually are in the game?
Sid may have. I refused giving that kind of money for it, so I couldn't tell you.
Five, six, maybe 5 or 6 dragons plus a worm, something like that in the current state. I think, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I didn't get a count on it. Plus, I refused to buy the game.
It's nothing that we actively count.
So with that said, IGP knew what he was doing in the video. He was upset of us because we reached out to him to do a video for our game, and he turned us down. So he gave his streamer key to someone else.
Sanji, Dragon Brigade in the chat saying that there's only 3 playable dragons.
Oh,
okay.
That's just adding insult to injury.
Yeah, that's just wow.
Is it 3 playable dragons unless you have some special Kickstarter tier? I thought there was more than 3.
They promised a lot more than 3.
I thought there was at least 4, 5 things you could choose from. Huh. Okay. I'm pretty sure there was more than 3 choices or 4 choices. So I might be wrong.
To be honest with you, I would have thought that there would have been 4 or 5, but 3?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive considering
Do you know how much work it takes to find 3 models on the Unreal Asset Store, Sanji?
I bet you it doesn't
takes
take
so much work.
Yeah, it does. And he's asking $20 for the price of admission. All right, let's continue on. IGP did get in contact with J.O. about clearing things up, but J.O. refused. Per usual.
Real quick, a clarification on that. Dragon Brigade says that there's Plasma, Wyvern, Fire Dragon, and the Doofy Chibi once used to test DLC functionality that's supposed to be in the next update. That one is only available for Kickstarter backers.
Okay. So
that's
3.
still 3.
That's still 3.
3, yeah.
Because the Chibi Dragon is apparently not directly available.
Well, and then you have the worm thingy.
I don't think that would count. I don't believe that would count either. I wouldn't count that.
No.
Everything.
If you're feeling generous, you would.
Everything counts with enough imagination.
What is this, Barney and Friends?
Currently 3 supported, but 1 more soon. Trademark.
In Valve time.
No, in Bethesda time.
In Be Awesome Games time. That's the new thing.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's how you write soon TM.
Okay. Apparently, I yeah. All right.
Yeah. So J.O. started to World of Warcraft time. J.O. starts to defend himself. This is Exhibit A. He was using CryEngine 2 years ago as of 2019, then switched to Lumberyard, then Unreal.
Yeah, that matches up with what he said to me. Just about.
He starts with CryEngine, which is being offered more or less for nothing, starting back in the middle of 2018. Switches to Lumberyard in 2019, and then sometime shortly thereafter switches over to Unreal. That sound about right?
Yep, that sounds about right. And Dragon Brigade also says that that's the one everyone was freaking out about with the ugly placeholder that costs $20 just to test DLC functionality. But for some reason, it requires a new placeholder.
Right. I'll buy that for $1. Wait, no, I won't.
I'll buy that for $3.50.
Well, I don't think testing out with a placeholder some DLC function isn't bad if you have never done it before.
No.
Problem is that the problem is with the whole Kickstarter is that this guy with very little experience was given 500 grand.
I don't.
He was selling
think...
his idea and not off of his experience.
I don't think that in its own is an issue. I think the issue is how he's handling things.
That's
thinking.
That would definitely be the major issue.
Thinking he could just use $500,000 and just use them in a little bit of music, buying a little bit of assets, and buying the models or employing people to do the models, and he does the coding himself. That's not how game development studios work. Majority of paid people aren't designers or audio artists. They're normally programmers. Because whenever you do something, I mean, it's not hard to it's not hard to employ more programmers, but it's hard to do it alone.
It's much harder to do it alone.
Yeah,
that's why businesses need to make effective use of their assets, which includes where they'd put their cash.
Speaking of cash, there is a bit of a money trail. Let's.
Well, it'll have to be for 500 grand.
Yeah. Basically, what Jo did was he started a Kickstarter as an individual, and Kickstarter will take about 30%. On top of that, he has to pay federal or state income tax. I don't know. I don't recall off the top of my head if where he's located from has a state income tax, and that will eat up some of that money, and whatever he has left goes into his own pocket. So he established Be Awesome Games LLC through a lawyer, and put all that remaining money into his own into that account.
If I'm not remembering wrong, the lawyer that he used to register as LLC was somebody well versed in elderly law and real estate, but not in registering companies, as far as I did. Which is a little bit fishy.
Well, to be honest with you, I would have had a better success with registering an LLC through LegalZoom than hiring a lawyer that does separate specialities. So
that would be. What do we have the biggest? Because I know, well, there are very few states without income taxes. Washington is one of them, as is, if I remember correctly, Tennessee.
Also Texas.
And Texas. I think
Sandra's very happy about
that. Give me a second here. Let me look that up real quick.
Meow. Meow. Have a cat go meow.
All right, here is States without income tax. Here is the entire list: Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington. Or no, Wyoming is included in there too. They don't tax earned income at all in any way, shape, or form, effective the 1st of October last year. If he doesn't live in any one of those states, he has to pay state and federal income taxes, which would take a fairly significant bite out of $500,000.
No, it's actually a quarter. It's actually a quarter of state income tax. It's actually a quarter of. It's actually what's left of 30%, 500K minus 30%, whatever that is.
Again, you're still talking. You're still talking. Oh, it's a third off, so that's 375, give or take 375,000, give or take a little bit. Whereupon he pays taxes probably at the rate of about 15 to 20% between state and federal.
Right.
You're still looking at he's still got $250,000 at least.
At least.
And near as I can figure, he spent probably about $400 total on all the assets that we're seeing.
Not to forget the original music he bought, which couldn't have been cheap.
Nope.
Well, it probably we're still not talking about $250,000.
Yeah. But the orchestra that he hired to compose the music, that couldn't have been cheap either.
Well, it depends on how long the recording session was. If you're talking about 12 tracks, let's go 10 tracks as an example. You're looking at about $20,000.
Dragon Brigade was saying that the music was around 30,000 or 50,000.
That's not unreasonable, but still, you're looking at $200K. This guy still got, and he spent way more in music than he did in everything else.
Apparently, he got it at a fraction of the price because the composer reached out to him. Apparently,
again, we're coming up with. He's still got the best part of $200,000 just sitting there doing nothing, except lighting pockets and buying his house.
He could be investing that money a lot more into the game, including employing a lot more people to work on it with that are more experienced.
Well,
programming.
Like programming.
What I have seen of the game thus far, I'm not saying it. It's just not there.
Death by Spooks, he does have to pay server costs, but server costs these days are pretty cheap, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, you can actually do that almost for free. Amazon, if you use Amazon. So, they charge a flat. I think it's a flat monthly rate, and it doesn't matter how much bandwidth you use. So,
I think I looked into open up, not for Day of Dragons, but I looked into open up like a basic game server for a game a couple of months ago, and I think it was like 70 pence a month. So it's like really cheap.
Yep. Again, I would like to welcome those of you who are joining us by way of the Uncensored Day of Dragons Discord. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart from personally joining this little stream, and thank you. Kyo just said, have any of you ever played the game itself? We have not, because we don't want to give Jo $20 for the price of a refund.
I mean, from everything that I have seen, all you do is run around, eat pre-made spots of food, and then you can fly around, and that's the whole game. And that's like, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of gameplay in there. I mean, even the most role-playing games that I have seen have more features than that game. It's like super basic. I mean, at best you could say it's a tech demo over the graphics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of which, we do have some things. We do not. Yeah, Sid lost 2 years of his life getting the footage for the video. Yeah, he did.
Frankly, I'm enjoying the game much more when I'm not playing it. I'm enjoying the game a lot more right now than I ever have.
10 out of 10. Not
10 out
playing.
of 10. 10 out of 10 we're not playing.
10 out of 10 wouldn't play it if you paid me. And he's not gonna do that.
I mean, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 if I was paid £50. Kidding. I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that either.
Also, Kaio, as far as we know, Sid did not post an update video beyond the DMCAs, which we will address soon.
Sid is still working on his update video. It's just a huge mammoth of a task for him. And he's obviously also got his day job to juggle along with it, which isn't helping him.
No, it's not. Apparently, the update video... Yeah, update DTA should be Monday.
Valve time.
Valve time.
Oh, no, sorry. Be Awesome Games time.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure Sid is walking a lot faster than Be Awesome Games on stuff.
Yeah.
Much better stuff as well.
Jo has experienced law enforcement.
Hmm?
Is this a new thing?
No, it's from October the 14th.
Oh yeah, I have heard that claim before too, that he worked in law enforcement. But Jesus Christ, I could say I'm an astronaut. Does it make it true? No, absolutely not.
No.
I'm not going to say it's false, though, but
no, I'm not saying
it's up in the air.
I would say be careful about claims people make on the internet.
Did he go on a ride along with the cop as a kid or something?
He turned the siren on when he was in the car.
I was a cop in Arma 3 role-playing server.
Wow.
I have
I
3
dressed up as
years
a
of
cop.
cop experience.
I dressed up as a cop when I was 5 for a birthday party.
Uh-oh, Mello. They're coming for you now.
Oh, shit.
So, and Jo also, on October the 15th, apparently, people began to ask questions about the game, and Jo blamed IGP again for these questions.
Oh,
Jo,
but of course, because that's the way isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
Yeah. Blame a popular YouTuber for your troubles. That's... Actually, ain't that Digital Homicide playbook that we're going to go into a little bit later?
Never gonna give it up.
I'm impressed you remembered.
Blaming them every day.
IGP is at fault for everything every time something happens at any point. Yeah, Jad would stub his toe and blame IGP.
And Digital Homicide came back, yes.
We'll be talking about that later.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that.
Channel.
We'll be talking about that on a separate channel, so
stay till the end to find out about it.
Yeah.
Now they have to stay with us.
Yeah.
Early access way too soon. There wasn't really a game, just a concept. Is what I think. I tried to play for about an hour and refunded. Yeah, we'll be going over a couple of the reviews later, won't we? When the game did launch into Steam Early Access.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, but that was generally the common trend for a lot of people. A lot of people thought it was way too early, even for early access. And also, can I just point out, Ja was receiving a lot of criticism for effectively just pushing these store-bought assets into this Kickstarter demo effectively, and then he was saying, "Oh no, don't worry, it's going to change, it's going to be different." And then he puts it on Steam, and then it has the same assets, and he's charging people money for it. And I'm just sort of like, okay, you're blaming these other people for these problems, but you have to take at least some responsibility for that. You knew that you were getting flack for that, and then you charge people money for that same thing that you're getting criticized for. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Without naming any names, I know several Kickstarter projects that started out with really shitty, like shitty broken game. It looks shitty. It looks bad. You know, they do a Kickstarter. They develop it for 2 years and then put it on Steam, where it is in a completely different shape, a completely different game at that point. And I would say that's almost common especially if you have like something like a tech demo, almost like an idea that you just threw together for a Kickstarter. And
only difference is Zhao is basically asking people to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, people reacting to that and being extremely critical and like bashing the creator. It's not odd when you do it. I mean, personally, as far as I have seen, what I think Jayo has been doing is like, oh, I want to be a game developer. I have a dream about a game, like me and everybody else has.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us just don't try to develop it, or pretty soon realize, oh, we suck too much at it. Unless you make the game Stardew Valley.
Yeah, because like when I was talking with Zhao, like he didn't come off as having malicious intent with, well, not with everything, but I mean like with the game development. He did seem like he was going into it with a decent enough reason. He was like he was very motivated by an idea he had. He loved the How to Train Your Dragons movies when he was growing up. That was one of the main things that motivated him to make that game. And I was like, okay, that's amazing, that's cool. You want to see your dream idea through. But at what cost? You've basically just made a fool of yourself on the internet. You've ruined your, well, I wouldn't even say you had a good name in the first place. You've ruined your name more. It's just like it's not worth it if you're just gonna act that way.
All right.
And not only that, but I mean, he ignored all criticism, which was like, instead of replying to it, he banned people. Instead of taking criticism to him, he just ignored it and did go into a bad defensive state. Like people, you never advise people just be a brick wall and be defensive to all criticism or all feedback,
Right.
and take it as a personal attack, which it isn't.
All right, chat, I am going to put up a flash poll for 3 minutes. Be sure to vote. The question is, did Jayo create an asset flip? Yes or no? And of course, if you are a member of the Admirals Club as a subscriber to my channel, your votes will count as twice the weight.
Ooh, double weight.
Voting for it.
What's the chat been saying? Vicky, he updates so fast we don't see it, nor does Steam.
And
actually, let's do something fun while we wait for that vote. Let's go to Steam DB and let's go Day of Dragons.
And Kaio, thank you for subscribing by way of Twitch Prime.
I'd also say thank you, but I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Kai of Achinetti. Something like that. Kai of Achinetti.
So the last time the game got updated on the public branch was about a month ago, and the last developer update was 11 days ago. Around the time the Little Dragon got announced.
It's like Kyle. So
that isn't quite a lot of updates, to be honest. Let me see history. There was an update 23 hours ago, and that was basically Metacritic change.
Fucking Etty.
Basically what?
Metacritic change. It changed from 61 to 60%, then to review percentage. I'm sure review, not Metacritic, but reviews. Reviews go between 60 and 61%. Apparently from all the voting. So NT added 3 days ago a new DLC package. And
I'll be honest, Dragon Brigade has actually sold this game to me. There's lots of rocks to get stuck in. I'm gonna go out and buy the game now.
Okay, November 20th, 2019. Be Awesome Games is now Jayo's official company Twitter. A user has found that the Twitter account had liked tweets that are very faith heavy and pro-Trump. They are now hidden.
See, that's the problem when you take a personal account and then you try and create a business image out of that. A lot, because like, I'm pretty sure it's like a worldwide thing, but a lot of things that a lot of companies will look at before employing you is they'll look at your social media, and if there's something like really shitty on it, they'll just probably not employ you as a result of it. If you have like incredible like views that they don't personally agree with. I mean, they're not technically allowed to do that, but we can't deny they do that sometimes. And like that's another issue where your personal views are brought in towards a professional view that you're trying to establish. It's just going to come back to haunt you.
Yeah, I actually find it pretty odd that he used his personal account in the first place to change it instead of
like
making a new
if
one.
I was him, if I was him, I'd make a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Same here.
results have ended and the verdict is in. Yes, he created an asset flip with 100% of the vote for 5 votes. So, yeah, that was a fun little, interesting little experiment. Let's do that again. Let's do that again soon.
Were you
Death-
expecting any different result there, Sanji? Seriously.
No. No, I was thinking it was a lot closer than 5%, than 100% of the vote.
Death by
Is it
Spook says
good?
all this DLC for an alpha is this the Sims 5 Maxis, what it's talking about?
I mean,
Except the only gender you can choose is dragon.
Anyway,
currently the game is just made out of assets, so it's not a surprise that people say it's an asset flip because it's all store-bought assets, nothing else.
all right.
Yes.
December the 4th, Day of Dragons is released. And that's all we're going to say about that. Actually, no, you know what? They also announced that some refunds may not be available. Oh boy. Can we get some clarification on that?
So yeah, I'm not too sure on that. Chat can probably correct me on this. This was something that I didn't quite get when I was reading that timeline myself. When they say that some refunds may not be available, were they referring to Steam sales or were they referring to Kickstarter backers?
I was thinking
That's a big
Kickstarter.
difference.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah. But I was thinking to in regards to Kickstarter backers.
That is actually normal because Kickstarter normally never refunds anything unless it's a scam and they take the hit for it, or the project gets cancelled. That's because of you don't buying a product, you donate/invest in an idea on Kickstarter normally. Even though they try to have a rule about that you actually need to have a product before you put it on Kickstarter, but it still happens to this day that a lot of people don't even have anything and just put an idea on there, or scam people still on Kickstarter.
Vicky Cass did say it was Kickstarter backers.
Yeah.
Right.
So people expecting a refund on Kickstarter is really unrealistic, to be honest. Because again, Kickstarter is not a store. You don't buy a product, you donate to a product. And
right.
all donations are final after the Kickstarter's ended.
I thought they actually had some. They do have some scam. They do have some rules.
They have scam protection rules. Yeah, they have scam protection rules. If they believe that the money was misappropriated towards the project, then Kickstarter will seek further action against the project, typically. But obviously, the game is still receiving updates, and it's hard to see, but apparently there is money going into it on more assets, more models, more environments, more stuff.
Lane just said, I don't think they can override Steam's terms of service. I got my refund without issues. Okay, yeah, were you a Kickstarter backwards?
Yeah, this is more to do with the Kickstarter refunds, not Steam.
Yeah. Steam has its own system, so where the developers can't override them, which is quite automatic. Yeah, with the 14 days/2 hours, which is a good system. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like the refund system. Granted, they were sort of forced to put that in, but still, it's a good system. I'm pleased we have it.
At least we have it. Let's see here. December 7th. Pardon my little upkeep there. After seeing and hearing about the game, people realized it only has marketplace assets as placeholders. Some people wanted refunds. The Kickstarter had been there to raise money to create their own models, yet these models were nowhere to be found. On the Steam...
And there is your scam.
That is where Kickstarter will have an issue with it. Because if they directly said that this money was going to be put forward to creating models, and then they just buy some models from a store, then that is using funds.
Yeah, the issue though was doing models. I mean, a model, depending on the quality, can take between 6 months to a year, even, or even longer. Though it would be odd if you spent more than a year on a bloody model. I mean, a month.
But
to
Joe spent 3 years on it. Oh wait, he didn't.
Yeah,
Nope,
but the
he didn't.
models didn't start to be created before the Kickstarter was over. So that means within the first 6 months after the Kickstarter, we should see actually starting to see some results, beside from just drawn images that's currently being putting out and new store assets.
Right.
I mean, 6 months is pretty good time to make a dragon model.
Yep. And also,
I've actually, believe it or not, I've seen them made in less time, but usually they're not game ready at that point.
no.
6 months would
Program in.
6 months for game ready and actually animated and whatnot. Yeah, that wouldn't be terrible. But I've seen high density mesh for a dragon done in just in 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to forget that you can do the mesh in, let's say, give them good time, 2 months. Then let's say you put a month for wigging and animation on top of it. 2 months for texturing it, really detailed, and trying a different stuff out. That's where you suddenly have 6 months time usage.
Yep. And
Hey, hello, Big Fry. How you doing?
hey, Big Fry.
Hey, sexy.
Hey, Big Fry!
Welcome. First time I saw you pop up on the chat, so welcome. We're talking Day of Dragons today on the W2 Report Live, and we're going to kick things off with another date. We're on December the 7th, 2019, and also on the Steam discussions page for Day of Dragons, threads started to emerge and disappear. And the question asked, is it legal to remove honest reviews? No, you can't, but you can hide them.
Here's the thing. I will comment a little bit on this because there's a few misconceptions about Steam's review policy and how Steam handle banning negative reviews. So developers can't, like that post said, the developers can't remove a review. They can flag it, and they can say why they're flagging it, and it will remove the reviewer's right to edit the review. And then the review will be reviewed by a Valve employee or a Valve-approved moderator, which is like a list of 12 people, I think.
Okay.
And then they will have an unbiased person look at the review and judge, okay, this is for, like, say the review was flagged for defamation, say it was flagged for being off topic or something like that. Then they would make the decision to either remove the review or reinstate it. But one problem with the review system is if you edit it, then that means the developer can flag it again, which gets very annoying.
Okay, question: Are any of you experiencing graphical delays on the stream?
It looks like you're having a little bit of bandwidth issues because it looks like it's VADP image right now for me.
That could be on either end, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. To reintroduce the panel, since we're about halfway through, Big Fry is asking who's all on the panel today. We have Lord Crocosquirrel on the panel today. We have Mellow Online on the panel today.
Hello.
And we have NoBlackThunder making an appearance today.
Hello, ladies, sexy, and boys and girls.
So,
didn't sound pervy at all.
Not a bit of it. Hey, NBT, phrasing, dude, seriously.
Yeah, phrasing. Words matter. So, with that said, let's continue on. And here we have some reviews. Since Big Fry's in the chat, why not highlight his review?
Big fry.
And here it is in all of its glory. It should not have. This shouldn't have been released in this state. There is absolutely nothing to do besides walk fly around in an empty world as a dragon. There's nothing in the world, and furthermore, it's all assets. This after they earned over 500,000 on Kickstarter in October, and he links his review right there.
Tell you
And
what, since Big Fry is in the chat, let's leave a link to his video so people can
yes,
go
why
check
not?
it out.
Why not? Go ahead.
I'll just grab a link. I'm pretty sure I have the rights to post links in your chat, don't I, Sanji?
I think you do. If not, let me do this.
Hold on. There we go. Check
No,
out
you
Big
don't.
Fry's video
No,
on Dave
no, you
Dragons.
no, you don't. No, you don't. I'm gonna mod
Damn.
you.
You got censored.
I got censored. Damn. It's like Jow all over again.
There you go.
I know,
Do it
right?
again.
What's up with
Do it again. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, only mods can link apparently, and Mellow Online will be the dedicated link grabber. Well, we try. We try, Big Fry.
I'm just a saint. I'm just a saint.
So, the hardcore ban was found on December the 14th. This is a very, very controversial subject because...
In EU law, in European law, this is actually illegal. Just wide out. I mean, the way you can ban people is from online services, but not from starting a program, unless you refund them basically. Or you have
Actually,
to
that's
take
not
it to
legal
court.
here either.
Nope.
That shit's not legal, period.
Nope.
Except maybe in China.
Anyway, Steam states that you need to be able to open the game that you have bought and get into the single player. Day of Dragons doesn't have single player yet,
Hmm.
but
But
you
it has
should
to
be
be
able.
for the single player.
But you should be able to open the game, which those bans could not.
And it's not only that. In a way, you can have single player if you start the game, host your own local server, and play it alone. I mean, that
But
would
that's-
still be single player.
They
That still
can't
doesn't
even do
get around
that.
That still
Yeah.
doesn't get around the hard-coded ban. That's just
Exactly,
that's
exactly.
rude, illegal, wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to start.
Because the thing is, with the hardcore ban, it basically resulted in them opening the game up and then just immediately shut down.
Right.
Which is basically illegal.
Yeah. So they can't even get to the menu, let alone launch a game up.
Oh,
Yeah, but
spoiler
what,
alert.
What I was saying is, if you in theory start the game, host your own local server, and play it alone, it is a single player experience in a way. I mean, basically, the single player does the same, just that the server runs internally.
Oh, spoiler alert. This is the only original code that was found in the game.
Very true. The only thing that
Well-
wasn't store bought.
Well, they did take it from a memory dump and just found the IDs, which gave it.
Yep.
pretty
NBT.
good.
Let's give them some credit. Let's give them some credit, man.
Yeah, let's give
mean,
them
it could-
some credit.
It could have been blueprints too, for all I know.
True.
If Steam ID, action close game.
We do
If anything,
know.
Jab was probably doing them a favor.
We do know that there is 6 of them.
Assuming there
6.
have been more added since then.
Yeah, including us.
Everybody here is now banned.
My experience with the game improved tenfold now.
We do know that Icy Caress and IGP were two of the 6, and they found out during the live stream. They found the
dear.
rules in Steam's terms of service.
What I really let me comment a little bit. What I really find funny, they got banned for decompiling the game and looking into the source code. but the alleged incident didn't happen before they got hard-coded banned, which they point to. And the other incident, which they also point to, is going to Day of Scams and just looking at an image and saying, hey, look, they claim it's only 2 lines of code.
Oh, Vicky Cass says there's 7 people now hard-coded banned. I wonder who's the number 7. Who wonders who's lucky number 7? Probably Sid.
Anyway, so any reason for banning them is automatically not legit. And they also said, some people say at least, that they apparently stole the source code and made an asset flip out of it, besides the assets that they also bought from the storefront, which isn't possible as far as I know, because you can't decompile blueprints that easily, unless they have gotten the original code directly from JO. So all of that is all bogus, basically. So I have no idea. I mean, JO has no foot to stand on really on the banning and the reasons for that, because either they don't fit up with the timeline when they were banned, and also doing a memory dump and looking in the memory dump with a hex editor isn't really decompiling it. It's looking at a binary file.
Okay, we're getting word that Sid isn't hard-coded banned. I wonder who's lucky number 7 is.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it's still going on, I'm surprised Steam haven't stepped in, because they are aware of the hardcore ban issues.
And
I guess Steam is waiting to see if it's gonna be a bigger widespread issue over time or not.
Well, I mean, it's taken them a month and a half. I mean, a month and a half ago they hardcore banned IGP and ICQS, and if it's now to 7. I mean, there has to be some line drawn eventually. It doesn't have to be just on that one game.
Yeah, but you know how slow Steam is.
I mean, they have to be aware of what the updates are for. They almost have to be. And if you get a 2K byte update for no reason that anybody can find, then maybe you should be looking into it.
Anyway, when JO was approached, they were banned from the Steam discussion page.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, I told Mello this the other day. Digital Homicide was patient 0 in all of the scams on Steam, and this just takes it to 11, my friends.
I think you're underestimating that. Probably closer to 20. Because even Digital Homicide was not dumb enough to try hard coding
a ban.
A ban, just putting a ban in the freaking code, in the executable code for the game.
No, they
I
just
think I have never heard about it ever.
It's actually not the first time I've heard of such a thing. It was a AAA company tried it a while back. And we're talking way too many years ago to count now.
Death by Spook says patient 0, but we didn't get the fun of an actual zombie apocalypse.
Well, no, actually, apparently with Digital Homicide, we are going to get such a thing. And
yeah, that's
we'll
true.
have that conversation here in about an hour.
So, yeah, spoiler alert, we're going to go into another channel for Digital Homicide. And yeah, that would be oodles of fun.
Has anybody ever noticed that the name Digital Homicide fits them perfectly? It's like committing digital suicide, now homicide on themselves and their game and their reputation.
A very overplayed joke, yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna play it some more, I think.
Why not?
Because that joke never stops giving.
And JO's 18, all of their names are hidden due to privacy. Let's see here. We have ex-staff comments with JO deleting things. The PR nightmare confirming it's from staff. JO shouldn't have banned IGP and IC. If JO had a case, the drama is of JO's making. And apparently JO has 18 years of experience in communication. Is that before or after his law enforcement experience?
I
If you ask
Hey.
Gio, he'd probably say somewhere in between.
hey guys, you guys smell that?
I smell bullshit.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, by the way, we probably should have done this at the start, but if any of you want to follow along with some of the document, there is a user. I want to get her name right because she did put a lot of work into this.
Tori.
Tori. Yeah, Tori did a fantastic job at putting a timeline together. I'm linking a more updated version of what we have because we've condensed it quite a bit just to do the stuff that we're going to be talking about here. But if you want to read the full timeline, Tori has very kindly published it in a Google document that was posted in the Uncensored Day of Dragons Discord server that you can check out.
And she also published it in the Sid Alpha's Discord, too.
And the Sid Alpha Discord.
Which is how I got it.
And also, props out to
here's the
Tori for
little
messaging me to confirm if I was fine with my interview being posted in it, which is something that Jow didn't do.
Well, I'm guessing that by the time she posted, Jow had already screwed you, so why not?
Yeah, but I mean, it was nice of her to reach out to me.
So
I
here's a
wouldn't
little
say
here's a little thing. Whenever there's a controversy like Day of Dragons, people who go around and just spam and jail and like, oh, you suck, oh, do this and do that, oh, you scam, and like spam them with that. That's actually a really stupid idea. The smartest idea of what you can ever do is gathering evidence. Just sit silent, listen, gather everything. I mean, sometimes you can say, I don't like the game, but just don't harass people. Like I see a lot of people doing. Just keep recording because gathering evidence is the best thing you can do.
Definitely.
And...
We need, end all be all, we need more people like Tori.
Definitely. That's a better time usage than sending. Let's see. Recent messages at the Day of Dragons Be Awesome Games. You are a scam. Stuff like that. That's Andre's.
Exactly.
That's Andre's post. Let me see. You Day of Scam here. Wait. Oh, explanation. Wonder if this is more scam hinted at. Yeah, like people spamming the same thing over again, which isn't really useful.
Yeah, like the timeline she's put together is much more productive.
Let's see here. December 16th, 2019 is when we got our first legal threats from jail. He wants to take action against IGP and Icy Caress. Meanwhile, Sid Alpha caught wind of what was going on and started to look into Day of Dragons. Mello, if you would, please link Sid's video into the chat.
I most certainly will. Please forgive the keyboard murder. I'm trying to keep my typing to a minimum for that exact reason. Actually, I'll link both of Sid's videos. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Because where we're ultimately going is right there on the second video.
Just about, yeah. One sec. Where's the Twitch chat gone? There it is. There we go.
And be warned, it is a lengthy watch. If you haven't seen it,
it's the better part of an hour and a half. I actually went and listened to it. I think I watched most of the first one and then just listened to the rest. The two videos are well over an hour. So
free labor by spooks.
And video 2 doesn't make a lot of sense unless you've seen video 1. So
right.
Heads up there. You know, and I've seen some really stupid shit happen in my day. This is this one's pretty good.
Oh wow. Okay. December 17th, IGP got called a terrorist.
Well,
which I find pretty... Yeah, I mean, the attacks on IGP's video is really odd because, as I said, I watched it, and from what I could see, it was mainly just concerns, and a lot of legit concern too. I mean, it's no secret. I'm a Star Citizen fanboy. I'm gonna defend the fucking game till I die. But even if somebody would make a concern video like that about Star Citizen, I would see nothing wrong with that. So I find it really odd that IGP got flagged for such an innocent video, basically. It's
Also,
crazy.
the user who made that comment was not a moderator of the official Discord at the time, but he earned himself a goddamn promotion.
Good for him. Good for him.
Which makes Day of Dragon look a lot worse if they put in people like that. Like, oh yeah, let's be evil and
We trust this guy with managing our community.
It really hurts the trust to the company.
Well,
Like,
all
this
of
is what I
this
was
is
talking
happening.
about. Where, yeah, that's what I was talking about before. Where it's sort of like Zhao and the rest of his team have to take some level of accountability for the stuff that's happened. Because like stuff like that, they can argue, oh, it's not our fault, and all that stuff, but they can't say that that decision helps them at all.
Oh, definitely not.
And exactly what way would it help them? I find myself very curious about that.
There's only two things. There's only two things you do when you get a lot of criticism. You either explain yourself very, very well, or you do not reply at all.
Right.
Death by Spook says, "What the fuck? All I had to do was be a dingus to be a mod. Why did I work so hard?"
I know, right? What's up with that?
I'm gonna have to change my whole work ethic.
Now, enter Ariel, an ex-moderator. She was a moderator early on and was doing her best to help out when an ass named Brocker, a member of the DoD Discord, came into her DMs and started causing trouble. She was fired without her being able to defend herself.
Which is even worse if you think about it. I mean, if you so easily persuade to fire people without giving anybody a fair trial and listening to them, that's horrible. I mean, that screams incompetence for miles.
And December 19th, 2019, Sid Alpha dropped his video. That's the first video Mello linked regarding Sid. And
Still
staff
beautiful, isn't it?
And staff begins to leave the next day, and community manager Midnight put an NDA into effect that all staff must sign. And what is that NDA?
It's basically preventing staff from leaking stuff from the staff chat, from what I can see.
Yeah.
So basically, the stuff that's posted in the staff chat stays in the staff chat.
Right.
If you have to go so far because your own staff starts to leaking stuff, I mean, there's so many red flags at this point. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, I can picture that. Imagine signing an NDA to mod a Discord.
No. I should think that there would be some obviousness to this. You don't do it. That's the way to get people to run off and start talking smack. There's a general expectation that you'll keep the internal working stuff private without some sort of an agreement, and absolutely forcing it, and especially as draconian as that particular NDA was. Yeah. That was strictly unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to. Yeah, I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip ahead by a lot.
Where to? Because I'm following along on the document as well.
January 24th.
Yeah, that is far.
Yeah, here is the copyright strikes. On Twitter, IGP posts a YouTube claim made by Jo. There are claims on what Jo is using the copyright strike for. Let me duplicate this.
Put it in the chat.
The copyright strike basically was so horrible. YouTube looked at it like, no.
Nah, we're not enforcing that. Even YouTube has more standards than Be Awesome Games, and that's saying something.
I mean, even YouTube saw there was so obvious bogus the DMCA reason, and that's I refused it.
Actually, I was trying to avoid personal information being leaked.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm going on another tab.
And the interesting thing is, what I really found interesting is that they even catched IGP and they prevented the DMCA even to go through for IGP, because normally YouTube has a list of people that have received lots of false DMCAs and that are likely to receive more false DMCAs, like Sid Alpha. It hasn't been the first time for him, but IGP got it first, and
that explains a lot. That actually explains a lot.
Yeah. IGP doesn't get a lot of false DMCAs, I would think, or any at all. So how they managed to catch him before Sid Alpha got his DMCA claim is quite interesting.
They're trying to negate the outrage. That's what they're trying to do. By copyright striking IGP's video, it puts a lot of Sid Alpha's evidence out of date.
But still, I'm amazed that YouTube catched the DMCA for IGP before it even did go into effect.
It's not unheard of. It's not unheard of. That sort of thing has been done before. Like me and Croc, I think, got... we had another entanglement with another indie developer. Me and him both posted up our own separate interviews with them that they weren't happy with. And they tried to file a complaint against us, and YouTube did step in.
And there was another one, that resolved itself within 9 hours.
But Mello, had you had ever before that point false DMCAs against you?
No, because I barely have any videos on YouTube.
Okay, well, I had to ask. Interesting. Maybe they reached some of them.
All right, and
anyway, let's keep on going.
Yes, here is the Day of Dragons response to the claims. Oh, it's done by TNT Dragon. And here we go. It just now popped up on stream.
It's a very short response.
Yeah, it is a short response. Basically,
like
someone at YouTube terms of service.
And then
someone looked at the YouTube terms of service yesterday, and they found Jail's claim to land in a gray area. Most everything always lands in the vague gray area, and various laws create their own unspecific phrasing. No, it's U.S. federal law. You have to take fair use into consideration, and J.O. did not.
Yeah, I think J.O. even in his own words claimed it was because it didn't make him money and it wasn't positive about this game. These 2 points alone just made sure that it wouldn't go through, because it made pretty easily clear it wasn't about using footage from the game or anything that other people also can use and have been using.
It's a complete misunderstanding of the DMCA system.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and also Sid is I don't know if we're going to cover this in today as a bit of a wrap up. Sid is
we still have 20 minutes.
Yeah, we have about 15,
20-ish.
Yeah. So, Sid is now considering doing a legal action against J.O. As a bit of a spoiler alert for the rest of the document. Let's see here. And he is now... Yeah, go ahead.
Santi, if I can insert a word in edgewise, you are in fact correct. The requirement to consider fair use is in fact hard-coded into the DMCA. That is definitely a thing. It's also been more or less hard-coded into the rest of the copyright law. So just for those people who might be interested in trying a stuff like that, You have to get a good you'll want to take a good hard look before you do that and consult a lawyer.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jail's DMCA claim was not a copyright claim. It was something like, I did not like his opinion, and I am not even getting money from him. And it
But he
was
effectively filed it to YouTube as a copyright complaint.
Yeah.
And I'm reasonably sure that Sid wound up having to buy his copy rather than pick it up.
Yeah.
Actually, Sid does do that. Sid tends to want to do that. Tends to want to do that anyway to avoid any kind of any idea that there was some impropriety there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Sid's general ethics regarding that is, because he said once to me, if he's gonna shit on them, he may as well give them some money.
Anyway,
he may as well at least he may as well buy them their game.
So anyway, let me bring also something else up. If you allow somebody else to use your copyright material, let's say like it was claimed, the drawings of a couple of dragon concept art, and you allow some people to use it and some people not to use it, your copyright claim normally automatically falls away. That's the reason why we had earlier, a couple of years ago, lots of companies doing copyright strikes for games and other stuff like remakes. What was it? Was it Pokemon? Was Zelda? Was it Nintendo that was really heavy?
Yeah, Nintendo was really heavy on that at the time.
So was Sega actually over some other stuff. So yeah,
and that's because they have to protect their copyright. Because if they do not protect it, they actually could lose the right of the copyright.
Not copyright. It's not copyright.
That's
it's trademark.
You're taking your trademark, sir.
Yeah. Okay, trademark. Yeah. What's a trademark? I'm pretty sure it's something similar to with
brand name. It's brand name
and
images, that kind of thing that consists of. For example, the Nike swoosh is a trademark, but there's no effective copyright on it.
Mm.
And they're completely different areas of law.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, just real quick, if anyone else is interested in like the general debate about trademark and copyright, I highly recommend Leonard French on YouTube. He puts up some really good discussions on current lawsuits regarding copyright and trademark, and he is an actual copyright attorney as well.
Right.
So just go on YouTube and find Leonard French. Or I can just drop a link in.
Yeah, go ahead and drop the link.
Lawful Masters is the official name of the channel.
Lawful Masters with Leonard French.
There have been also couple of other lawyers that are really good too. I can't remember his name now of the other lawyer.
There's Viva Frey is actually one of the more popular ones.
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about him. There was another one, an older guy than Viva Frey. He also does copyright law, like Leonard French.
Lear Lesser.
Yes.
He's
YouTuber Law.
Older.
YouTuber Law.
Yeah, that's the guy. I haven't seen much out of him lately. At any rate, I think he's actually. I think he's still working on an FCC complaint.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, he started with the FCC complaint. That was the last time I looked at his videos.
Well, it's the last time I've seen anything come up in my feed from the guy, and I've been kind of wondering what happened to him.
YouTube censored him.
One hopes not.
World of Wet is wondering, the most important question is how to make as much money as Day of Dragons without having anything.
One more time.
You mean like Day of Dragons did?
Yeah, like Day of Dragons.
Because that's getting old. That's getting old in a quick, fast, and in a hurry. People, come on.
Come on. Just take any asset and try to flip it on Steam.
Mm. Just get a project, get an asset complete template project, and then post it up. No talent at all is needed.
Unit Z! I remember that one.
Unit Z.
All right. While we're wrapping down, let's wrap this stream up with some. Yeah. Let's get some final thoughts before we close out shop for today. Meanwhile, if you want to see Digital Homicide get taken to the woodshed, I'm going to drop a link to Lord Crocosquirrel's stream. We will reconvene there in roughly 30 minutes.
40 minutes.
about 40 minutes or so. It'll be at noon Pacific Daylight Time. And yeah, we're gonna take digital Kutzpah out behind the woodshed to beat the shit out of them. Because frankly, that much salt just begs to be mined.
Yes, I almost regret doing this in reverse.
Digital homicide.
Remember my
chemistry class.
Yeah, remember my remarks on digital homicide being patient 0? Well, you're about to find out why.
Oh, the salt must flow.
Yes.
I mean, the people the people from the Dune universe could run their starships on this grade of salt. It's delicious.
Yes, sir.
Austin,
yes, you
I'll
can.
drop another link.
Yes, go ahead.
Again, huge shout out to Tori for making this. The one that I'm linking is a much more updated version of the one that we have on screen because we condensed a lot of the notes to just
just that.
More relevant points to us. Again, huge thank you, Tori. Doing God's work.
Yes.
And there's so much we couldn't even touch yet.
Yeah.
No.
Like, as you saw, Sanji did have to skip past, like, late December, early January of the document.
In order to fit everything into the stream.
Yeah. There is plenty that you can read up yourself on that document. Tori's done a great job of it.
And
yes, folks, I recommend that you read it. You guys don't have time to go through all of the live streams we've already done on Digital Homicide, but holy crap, there's a whole freaking playlist worth. This is what, number 8?
Yeah, it is number 8.
Oh
boy.
It's like old home week.
Anyway, I would like to thank the Day of Dragons Discord actually the Uncensored Day of Dragons Discord. My apologies. For dropping in on the stream today. I would like to thank Lord Crocosquirrel, Mellow Online, and NoBlackThunder for being a part of the panel today. And I will keep you guys apprised on Twitter in regards to when the next W2 Report Live will take place. And with that said, I would like to thank the chat for being the chat. And I would like to thank Kyle for being for enlisting into the Admirals Club as a member of Twitch Prime, and I would like to thank all of you for joining us, and I'd like to thank all of you who happen to see this via video on demand. And R.W. Lewis II, thank you for being a member of the crew. So with that said, I would like to thank all of you for joining us. And again, I will see you guys on the next W2 Report Live. Provided that I don't get DMCA to all the hell.
Probably not.
No, probably not. Probably not. But we're not promising anything. With that said, I'd like to... Yeah, that will do it for us today. We will reconvene in roughly 30 minutes on Lord Crocosquirrel's channel. The link has already been dropped in the chat. And we will see you guys on the flip side. We'll see you on 30 minutes from now. Thank you.